Greetings, Earthicans! Today we have a Casio G-Shock 1289 DW-6900CS. This is part of the Fall-Winter collection of 2008, and this particular one is the white body with the blue, purple, and green highlights. Once you turn the watch over to the underside, simply use a very small Phillips head or flathead screw and take each of those 4 screws off of the case. You can use your hands to take out the screws, however I'm using tweezers because of the way I have my camera set up, and it's just easier to do it that way. And then it should come off pretty easily. It might be a bit sticky, but once you take it off, you can take out the gasket if you wish, as well as a little plastic kind of rubbery mesh thing. You should take that out too prior to taking out the battery. It's just easier. Now this can be a tad tricky, and the trick is there's a little tab that covers the battery, and it has like a bit of a lip in it. You don't want to push up the main like kind of metal piece sticking out. There's like a secondary little tab that's kind of hooked onto, and you pop that out using a screwdriver or a pin. Once you pull the tab out of the little spot there, it should kind of pop open, and then you can kind of massage the battery out. Now that the battery is out of its enclosure, we can place a new CR 2016 battery into the watch, and then simply push down, and the tab should just automatically click in by itself like that. The next step is to short the circuit of the watch actually. With some of these LCD watches, you have to use the AC terminal and the positive or top of the battery using a pair of pliers or tweezers or a paperclip even to get the battery set. It might take a couple tries as shown here, but once you have them touch, give it a couple seconds maybe just to be safe, and the battery should come to life. So now that the watch is working, what needs to be done is to place the rubbery bit back on properly onto the watch, as well as to make sure before placing the rear plate back on that the gasket is in the right space so it doesn't have kind of sticking out when you screw it back on. When placing the rear case back on, you might need to kind of stretch back the rubber band a bit to kind of lift those little notches that are sticking out from the bands, and that helps secure the plate in place and actually makes it easier to screw them back in, as you don't have to worry about the plate kind of sliding around. Be sure that when you're tightening these screws that you aren't using too much force, especially if you're using not the right type of screwdriver, as what might happen is it can slip or you might end up accidentally round out the screws, and that can make them a lot more difficult to replace in the future. Now that the watch is complete, all that is left is to wear it. I'm just going to do a quick clean here, as this was a thrift store find, and it does have some marks and some smudge and crap on it. And from there, we are going to put it on. I have a fairly small wrist at around, I believe, 6¼ inches. However, this isn't one of their like large G-Shocks, so this looks quite nice and is very comfortable to wear. Here I'm just showing some of the settings that you can do, quick playing around fiddling with the settings, and then I'm also going to demonstrate the illuminator, as it is quite bright, and what you do is you press the button and it turns on the light for a couple of seconds, and then you hold it to keep it on in case you want to look at it for longer. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. A like or comment is always appreciated, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day.